Hello there, welcome back. Thanks for being here. So, in our last lecture, we have discussed about alerts. We have seen three different kinds of alerts that are present and how to handle each one of them. So, in this lecture, let's discuss about the frames. We all know that frames are included within the web page just to reduce the load on the web page. These are the kind of components that are fit so that it is easy for the front-end developers to maintain and also to insert a new frame. Say for example, when we get onto a web page where it has many advertisements, you tend to see that the advertisements might get changed from day to day. So the advertisement that you see today may not be present tomorrow. So if you do not have a concept of frame, and if you try to integrate normally within your DOM structure, within your HTML structure, so the maintenance would be more. So that is the reason you can just remove the frame and just insert the frame. So that simple it is as far as the development or maintenance is concerned. So from the automation perspective, what is the challenge while working with frames? So basically, whenever a script starts and it interacts with the browser, so the focus of the script is mainly on the default content, so mainly on the main web page. If at all some element that you are trying to access is within the frame, you have to switch to that frame and then access the element, otherwise you cannot locate that. So let's see how to do that with the help of Karate. So we have a method called switch frame. Let me just click this method. I think I'll have to just refresh the web page. So there is a method called switch frame, and that method, let me just make sure I have proper internet connection. Yeah. So let me just frames. Yeah, switch frame is the method. So basically this switch frame method can take the locator as an argument, or an integer value. So it could be the number of frames that you see in a web page, and you can also pass a value null so that it comes back to the default content, to the main page, or else you can also pass the negative integer, which is -1. So that actually takes the control back to the web page. Let's quickly just see how the frames are being structured. So this demo.automationtesting.com is the site that we have taken for this example. So if you actually see the text box here in the middle is actually enclosed within a frame. So there is a tag called iframe. So by default, my script cannot locate this particular text box unless and until I switch into this frame. So it is very essential for me to switch to this frame by using the locator. I can write an XPath using ID name because we have two properties here, and then I need to locate this particular element and then try to send the keys. So let's just see how to do that practically. So let me create a feature file very quickly. So it's other file, and let me just name it as a frames.feature. So I will have it as a feature. So to work with frames is my feature name, and scenario would be to handle to send keys to a text box that is within the frame. This is my scenario. So we all know that we have to configure the driver, given configure driver equals to type Chrome driver, and later configure driver, and then let me just give the URL of the website. So demo.automationtesting.in is my URL. So after navigating to this with this application, so let me just maximize the window and then then let me click on, so I don't think I'll need to click on anything here because single frame is already clicked when you are onto this web page. So I'll have to switch to this web frame. So instead of click function, I just use method called switch frame as it was shown in the documentation. So I'll just write an XPath. Let me do a Control F. So it's in iframe tag, and the ID value is this one. So let me just quickly pass it here. So now we have identified the frame, and let's just send keys here. Let me also identify this. So this is a type text. Let me just write an XPath. So it is basically enclosed in a input tag, and type is the attribute. So and input is the method that we use to send keys. We have already seen that. And you need to just pass in some data. So let me send Roger here. And finally, just let me put delay of at least 2 seconds before the browser gets closed so that we can observe what's happening there. So let me just quickly run it as a feature file. So now it should launch the Chrome driver, navigate to the application URL, and then switch to the frame and send keys. Yeah, so now it has closed. So the other way that you can also switch to a frame, as it was said, is by passing the index. So we have only one frame, let me pass the index 0 and let me run. So now I have just changed the type of parameter that switch frame can take. So earlier it was a locator value, and now I've just given an integer index value. So let me just revert this. And now, so my next operation would be just to come back to the default content and click on this particular thing and then navigate to these frames. So in order to click on that thing, I need to ensure that my focus is coming back to the regular web page so that I can actually click on the other button. So it was already told in the documentation that, so in order to switch to the default content from the current frame, you have to either pass the value null or a negative integer value, which is -1. So let's try with null and then try to click on that button to see whether or not we navigate to the other nested frame window. So I think, let me just identify, let me write an XPath for it. So it is an anchor tag, and let me write a text based XPath. I'll take a text function, and then yeah, I have identified the button successfully. Only one suggestion. So after clicking on here, so I need to again switch to a frame. So in this particular page, it looks like we have a couple of frames. Let me just quickly inspect. So we have one frame which is multiple frames. So let me just write a XPath for it. It is in div tag, and I think I have ID value, and let me navigate from here just by giving / iframe. So what happened was that since the iframe tag does not have any proper attributes such as ID, name, or a text, so I have initially written an XPath for this div HTML element, and since iframe is a child of div, I have just given a / iframe so that I am here right now. So even now you can see only one suggestion I have. So let me just pass the value here, and now I'm in the first frame, but we do have another frame. So this time, since I'm already in this frame, so I have one more frame. So this time I'll just pass the index, and then finally I will consider sending the keys to that particular page. Let me just quickly identify that. I think it is also the same thing. It is also enclosed in input tag, and the type attribute is present. I think there is some spelling mistake. So let me just pass this value as a first argument and Rafa as the keys, and let me just put a delay of a couple of seconds at least to ensure that we can observe all things that we have written. Let me write as a Cucumber feature file, and now the application has launched, and you can see now it has filled in the Roger, and then it has filled there, and Rafa has also been entered. So this is how you basically work with reporting. Let us just quickly take a look at the report and see how that looks like. So you can see that there are no failures, all steps were passed. So this is how you basically work with frames. The learning here is we have learned three things here. You can switch to another frame by using locator value or by passing the integer index of the frame, and you can switch to the default content from the existing frame by passing the value null or a negative integer -1. So this is the learning for this video. I hope you can work with frames, you have the good understanding, and please do subscribe to my channel so that you know whenever there is a push from my end, you have something to learn. So thank you so much guys, you have a great rest of today.